Well, I can tell you that whatever that next cycle is, right? And D2C was one of these cycles, right? Does it mean that D2C is dead? No, not at all. But this is a forced fire that's happening right now that is clearing out both the brand underbrush and the agency underbrush. And if you can survive this, you're going to be in a much better position than you were previously, right? And that's what happens during these times. So anyway, I don't know if I've got a question in there, Ben. More of just, I feel like we're having a scotch, and I didn't say that because you're in Scotland, but
Yeah, and when you come to Scotland, we'll do a tour of all the distilleries and make sure you have plenty of scotch. But no, yes. I'm totally aligned, man. If you can stick this out, somebody has to be there to receive all the money that people are going to want to spend as life gets better.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're that person that's getting their money. Because people are going to be like Fry from Futurama. Shut up and take my money, right? You want to be the person that's shutting up and taking their money. And to do that, you got to dig in, get the blinkers on, 80-20 everything.
Yes.
And grind it out.
Okay, let's get back to this term here because we haven't actually talked about this. I just have my fun agency suck sign up in the background here. In your opinion, why is it? Because we all resonate with this, right? I mean, this is why I did this, right? We all resonate with the same feeling. Yep. I mean, I got off, I occasionally still do sales calls at Upgrowth here. And I got off a call this morning and they're like, hey, we've gone through 3 agencies. Why is this going to be different? And I'm like, oh, all the trauma out there. Why is it? Like, what's the principle? What's the bedrock behind why this has been such a thing?
I think it's multifaceted, so I'll probably just rant at you for about a few things, right?
Please do. That's what I was hoping for.
I think there is a perception that if these guys were that good, they'd have their own, okay? Now, I know that you take that box, so that's all good. But if these guys were that good, they'd have their own brands. I'm suspicious of them for that reason. I'm suspicious of them purely because I got burned by other agencies in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get my brand. They are not as passionate about my brand as me.
Yeah.
And the mindset of, I want an ROI immediately.
That's on the customer side of things.
Yes, totally. Yeah, that's on the customer side of things. And just like speaking from experience, I've had some great experiences with agencies, but I also remember one of my first really bad experiences with an agency, which was this. Agency was on a podcast, talked a good game, podcast host, extremely well respected in this space, has this guy on his show multiple times as a Facebook ads specialist. Jumps on a call with me, talks a great game. Yes, we can absolutely make this work for you. This is my first brand. We were crushing it on Amazon at the time, and I really wanted to make our Shopify site tick. And I was struggling with Facebook ads. I was like, right, I just want to learn from the best. I want to bring the best in to go make this work. This guy sounds like he knows his shit, and he's trusted by one of the leading podcast hosts in this space.
Yeah.
Passes me off to has my account run by some dog's body. The creative was extremely poor. It was just the pictures of my products, and they promised me also creative. And ultimately the ads didn't convert, really partly because of the poor creative and partly because my average order value was too low. And they knew my average order value was too low and that they couldn't make it work. But rather than be real with me, they screwed it up. And once you've been burned once, it's really hard to trust another agency again. It's like getting cheated on, right? It's kind of like that. So I get it. But also, I also work on the service side of things. Take it with e-com brokers. And the reality is that most people in most agencies are good people who want to do good work for their clients.
Yeah.
But sometimes, well, actually a lot of the time, clients are really hard work to work for. And so actually now when I go and try to work with somebody and give them my money to get them to help me, I go out of my way to say, listen, I know you want to do a great job. Be real with me. Tell me everything you need me to do, and I will be the best client. I will be the client that gives you the information you need on time and helps you to help me. I don't want to be that guy that moans that they're not getting results when they didn't collaborate with the agency to put good information into the machine in the first place and then wonders why they got rubbish out the other side.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a ramble.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think you and I both had these experiences, right, guys? Like, the reason I say agencies suck is not because I just think they do. It's because I've worked with a lot of other agencies in our brands that don't do what we do, right? And I've needed help when it comes to that. And I've had very similar experiences. And also, I tell people, I'm like, I'm going to be your worst client because I know everything. I'm like, I could either be your best or your worst client. But like, what I despise is when people start to like try to like pull the wool over my eyes using like using metrics that I'm like, those are vanity metrics. We understand. Let's all be very clear what I think what a vanity metric versus a real KPI that I'm going to scale my business on is, because those are two different things, right? You can tell me all the vanity stuff you want. I'm just not going to believe that matters. I believe that those metrics are true. I don't think you're lying to me about those. It's just whether they matter or not. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there are some of the worst agencies are those who know when they have a client. I always try to teach people, and this is something I always try to do myself, sometimes more successfully than other times, is to learn enough to be dangerous so that I know when somebody's doing a good job.
Yes.
And I think it's really sad when agencies are like, oh, brilliant, this client knows absolutely nothing, we can totally pull the wool over his eyes.
Yeah.
Rather than actually saying, not only are we going to do a great job for you, we're going to educate you about how this works and show you why this matters.
Yeah.
Because if only they did that, they'd end up with a much happier client who wants to spend more money with them and wants to tell everybody about what a great job they did. But people are impatient. They want to play the short game and they want to make a quick buck. And it's really sad. But ultimately, cream rises to the top. So, world. We know that there are issues going on and that we need to change the sustainability of what we consume.